Gotta get in the zone. Oh boy, is it on? I think my intro is gonna be no intro. Hey, we're here and this is how we shoot residential listings. All right, first things first, we walked into every room and we opened up all the blinds, especially on a day like today. It's kind of rainy out, so we gotta get as much light as we can. And we turned on all the lights. Last time I said that, I had some people ask me, why do you, when I say some people, I mean a person. Ask me, why do I turn on all the lights? I don't know, because it makes it bright. I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean, I know some people that...
Why does the sun rise every morning? I don't know.
I don't know, bro, because it's dark. Some people don't turn the lights on and they let the camera do the work, which is fine. So when you do, like what we do, bracketed photos, then the camera can make it look bright, you know, especially because we do 5 brackets. So those last few pictures can take a long time because it's letting a lot of light in. But to me, I feel like if you have lights off but it's super bright, I don't know, I feel like the lights add to the ambiance. Now, if you have, like if you look at this little chandelier, and if you look at this little chandelier.
Sorry. I did not know you were cueing me to move it over here, dog.
If those light bulbs had different colored light bulbs and they were mix match, then I would leave that off because then it would give different light. It would look kind of tacky. But when it's all uniform and like, I don't know, I think the lights look nice. So that's why I got them on. All right, now leave for a minute so I can take this picture. Do that to me. So the main thing with pictures for me is the angles and the compression. This door just keeps opening. I'm waiting for it to stop. So this is a 14 to 35 millimeter. I feel like it's easy to leave it on 14 and just take a wide shot of every single room. But I feel like it doesn't like always do justice to the house. And it can make things look kind of goofy and not realistic to the eye. I know in some situations you're kind of forced to because it could be a narrow space and you just have to go wide. Like, I mean, this is a perfect example. I don't love this. It's at 14, but you can kind of tell from the spot that we're at. It's a very compressed, narrow hallway, I guess you would say, into the kitchen. So I really only have an option to show a little bit of this pantry and this little coffee bar area by putting it on 14 and getting like a really wide shot and kind of establishing where it is in the kitchen. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing if you only do 14, but for me, when I can, I like to mix in some straight shots, not always do like the diagonal, because I feel like it looks more natural to the eye when you can zoom in a little bit rather than just leaving everything on the widest setting. We're gonna repeat the shot that I just did here and use it from the other direction and probably just pick and choose which one we like better. So for this one, because I can scoot farther back, I can actually see from all the way to the middle of the stove, all the way into the dining room, which is cool. You know, the cool thing about using the wide. What I'm gonna end up doing for a kitchen like this is, normally I have like a mental shot list in my head of what I would shoot, but when you walk into the house and it looks, you know, different than a normal kitchen layout wise, you kind of have to just work with what you got. So I'm gonna probably overshoot this really out of necessity to make sure I get all the shots I need to represent the kitchen well. Just eat the extra cost. And I'll just pick and choose which ones I like the best. Because to me, what's the most important thing is agents are spending their money to hire you to provide them with pictures. And the last thing I want is to be cheap and not take some extra pictures when it could use it. And then the agent doesn't feel like that their investment or their money was worth hiring me to take the pictures. And they feel like they're wasting their money, because then you're gonna lose money in the long run because you're not gonna have someone that comes back to use you again. So I'd rather eat the costs of taking some extra pictures to make sure I feel like I represented their listing well. They got the good pictures that'll help sell the property, and then they're gonna hire you again. Everyone wins. You make more money in the long run. Now these are the hardest ones to me because I'm trying to make it as square as possible to save myself some time in the editing process, but sometimes it's just a little hard. I think a kitchen that looked like this, not so narrow, would probably get 5, 6 pictures. We're probably gonna have to go closer to 8 route, just to make sure. And from doing the walkthrough, this seemed like it was probably the most difficult part of the house to photograph. Everything else is pretty straight up. And when in doubt, just go check your pictures. You know, see how many you got, see the angles you took. So this one, just for reference, when the kitchen countertop comes this way, then this comes out, I love to get a square shot, basically where this table, you know, is looking in, or like from this direction looking in. I like to mix in the completely square rather than the diagonal. But this one, the shape of the kitchen is not really compatible to do that right now. It's just personal preference. I like to add in some different ones, but if you can't, you can't, you know, that's what it is. So let's see, I'm gonna take one more here, but let's see, we got 1, 8, 9. Yeah, so this will be 10. Again, just to show this little dining space. It's easy for your eyes to see, but to try to translate it well through the camera without making it look warped or overly big or too small. It's like you take out the warpedness by zooming in, but then the space can look really small. If you zoom in all the way, like for mine it's 14, then it can just look like a big oblonged room when in reality it's very symmetrical. So it's just a fine line that you have to play. That's why I try to do the square ones when possible, because I feel like when you're squared up, it kind of takes away some of the distortion a little bit. I feel like that was the most difficult room. I think we'll be able to float through. Everything is gonna be pretty straightforward after that. We have living room, a hallway bath, 2 regular bedrooms, primary bedroom with a ensuite and a walk-in closet. I've already got 2 entranceway shots here. I'm gonna do one from back here that just shows where the staircase is into relation of the living room. But then I'll do that corner, this corner, and we'll see about doing the one over there by the lamp, but just trying to show the different angles of the living room. I'd like to get over there to show that it goes into the kitchen and it walks here into the front. I like to get this one over here, mainly because it's like, you know, you get to see the couch, you get to see how big the vaulted ceilings are. All right, bada bing. Obviously every room or house is different. Like if this was a vacant house, it'd probably get 2 pictures. And normally I like to shoot about chest height for me. I'm like 5'10", so it's like, what do you think that is, like 4 foot down here? Around, it's my chest level, whatever it is. I'm 5'10", so take it into reference. I'm going a little bit higher on this one because that has vaulted ceilings, so I wanted to show more of the ceiling. When normally, if it's just a normal like 9-foot ceiling and I'm this high, I just feel like it shows a lot of the ceiling. So like another shot I would sometimes do, I feel like I can't get far enough back on this one, is, again, this is just preference. I just like to throw in the detailed shots because I feel like it just adds a little bit more creativity to them. I'm gonna be honest, most people don't use them, but they got them if they want them. But I would take this shot here where you're kind of squared up with the couch, and instead of doing wide, you would zoom in a little bit. You can kind of see on here, sucking my gut. Just adds a little detail. But for this one, I'm not gonna do it. We're gonna have so many shots of this living room. Now, if this was like, if there was a wall behind the couch and we basically had like one shot or one angle, then it'd be different, because it's like, I want to have a certain amount of pictures per room. So that's just one to keep in your back pocket. Just go around the corner. You can see your stupid little head hanging up. Bedrooms are bedrooms. It's a bed inside of a room. So we do 2 shots, even if it's vacant. Normally the first one is here at the door, and then we go to the opposite corner, which typically shows the closet in relation to the room. Now in the primary, if it's a really nice primary suite, we may throw a detail shot of like the bed, show the end tables and stuff like that, but that's not always the case. Get out of here.
Oh shit.
Instead of doing the one where I was talking about where we're gonna get in front of the bed and show it, I'm gonna do a square shot this way. This will be kind of like the detail shot of the room. And then I'll get 2 diagonals. I'll probably go, dang, I should have closed those blinds. Not close them, but just pull them down all the way. I always try to also think about like what my next shot's gonna be while choosing this shot. And also try to, a mixture of making the shot look good and slightly creative to show the room off, but also show where you are. So we chose this corner because it leads into the bathroom, which is behind you. So people know where they are in the room and where the bathroom is into correlation to being in the room. Primary en-suites can be a little tricky sometimes, just to kind of figure out how to show it off. So this is just the classic, show the vanity, zoom in. I'm gonna be at around 28 millimeter. Obviously I gotta get the fuck out of the way. That's why we set timers on there. Avoid camera shake and get out of the view. So that's one of the detail shots. Now I'm also gonna get a wide shot. What's gonna be tricky is this room, because typically like the en-suites just have a toilet. This one's got a shower in there as well.
Oh, dang.
So that's gonna, we're gonna get a little creative on that one. Vertical pictures of bathrooms are fine. I'm just personally not a big fan of them. I think when you're scrolling through pictures and you go from like horizontal, 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 all of a sudden, boom, it's a vertical. It's just like, it doesn't fit in well and they can look kind of warped and goofy, but sometimes you don't have an option. I think I'll be able to take a picture of this room and show that there's a toilet in there, but then I'm probably gonna have to do some sort of vertical, wide, warped picture of the shower just because I don't think I have another option. I did a detail shot of this vanity so I can cut it off a little bit for this picture. Not a big deal because you've already seen it. And I'm gonna drop this down a little bit and show, vanity, bathtub, walk-in closet. That tub has a step, that's pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna drop these legs. Tubs are hard. I've tried over top, square. I tried like down low, angled, and I'm like, I haven't found one yet that is like, I like that, and that's the one I go to. I do have one I go to, but not because it's my favorite, I just think it's the least bad. And if anyone has suggestions, I'd love to hear. I just kind of go this route, and I'm really low, and I show the faucet, and you can see that it's a tub. Yeah, I've just tried so many different angles and heights and stuff, and I just don't think they look good. I think it just makes the tub look weird. I think when you do a far one, it's real wide, you can see that it's a bathtub, like you get it, it's a bathtub. And then just do one little detail shot and just kind of move on. So these toilet rooms, when it's just a toilet, I try to show that that's where the toilet is, but without just going in there and just taking a picture of the fucking toilet, So I try to go outside the door and more use it as a chance to show where it is. So if you want to come look at the camera, you can see I'm showing that the toilet is in that room, but like in correlation to where the room is. So that room is next to the vanity. If this doesn't get like 100 views, then I'm gonna be like, all right. I mean, use what you got, right? I can't put the tripod here. There's a toilet, so put it on the toilet. I guess I'm just gonna have to go vertical. I don't love it, but whatever.
We gonna do it.
Whatever. And that's a closet, so we just took a picture of the closet, Is the camera okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Guys, slurping derp.
It's a basement, It's just like, do what you did upstairs. Just do it down here. Dude, these are taking so long. You'll probably hear me say this a lot over the next few videos. This is an unnecessary shot. So we're in a little bit of a pickle. We got a treadmill on the way here. Giant love sack over there. I think we're just gonna finesse this shot a little bit. So you could see from over there that this was over here. So if you can't get in the corners, we're just gonna take a picture.
Treat it as his own little room.
Yeah, and just treat it as his own room. And from the establishing shots we took over there, you'll know. Dude, I think they're gonna get motion sickness watching this video. This is scheduled from an agent on a different software, but on my new software, it asks 2 questions like, shoot the basement, or it doesn't have a basement, or it has a basement, don't shoot the basement. The other one is to shoot a garage or not, or if it even has one. So I'm just doing it just in case they want to use it. This is a cool garage. I mean, there's like, it's organized, it's fine. But some people, if they're starting to move, they have a bunch of boxes and stuff in there, so they don't even want a picture of the garage. So I'm just doing this one just to be safe.
Wow.
All right. So exterior shots, everyone's got personal preference. My preference is whatever the highest zoom rate is from your lens, that's what I like to use. They say that 50 millimeters is the closest to what the human eye sees. This one goes up to 35. So I'm always gonna try to get as far back as I can and zoom in to the 35 just to get it to look as natural as possible. Now, sometimes if you're on a really crowded street or something, you may not be able to always go all the way to 35. But to me, that is what gets the most natural look from the houses. We're gonna do the basic shot from the front, and we always do one from one side, if not both sides. The house kind of falls off, so we may not do the left side, but also mainly because we're also doing drone pictures here. So we can get away with 2 regular camera shots because we're gonna add in a bunch of drone as well. So again, I'm at 35. If I'm only doing 2 of the front, I like to get the side with the driveway just to kind of show, if the driveway goes around or if it stops or whatever. And sometimes I may go up here, which for this one I'm probably going to because the trees block the front. So I'm probably gonna get a picture roughly in this vicinity. If the trees were a little farther towards the road, I may go like in between the trees, but I wanna get, show the front of the house as well because we were kind of blocked out. So this house is kind of also on a hill. So the deck's really tall, the yard kind of falls off. They ordered a drone for this one, so we're gonna take some pictures with the camera, mainly of this little lower patio and where the garage is. Probably take like 4 or 5 pictures with the camera, but we'll definitely get what we need with the drone because I'll be able to sit, about mid-level, higher than what the camera can go, but just below the deck, and you'll just get a better angle. The drone doesn't get super wide, so this is a good chance for the camera to just get those wide shots. I can see all the way down the driveway, all the way to that tree, just get the wide, you get the full spectrum of what's back here. Wide is kind of too wide, all the way at 14. So I'll zoom in a little bit. I'm at 26 millimeters, and you just kind of get a more natural look to the downstairs patio. I already took pictures of the deck up there while Alex was doing the floor plan, so we've already got the deck, but I'll also get the drone and get a more aerial shot of the deck as well. All right, thanks for watching. If you guys have any other videos that you want me to make or have any questions or any topics you want me to hit, please let me know. But until then, I'll see you next time.